What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning C++. My name is QTS Dani and you guys watching my channel Corayowood. In this video we're going to see what is exception handling. So exception is the error that happens at the runtime of the program. Exception handling is a mechanism that handles all program managed runtime errors. C++ exception is built on three keywords. So we have a try, we have a throw, and we have a catch. So it means we have a try and catch. Let's say for example we put a throw. So what is a throw here? Throw, it throws the exception which is caught by the catch. Alright, so you have seen a lot. We have seen try, and we have seen after that we have say catch. So what catch is that? It catches the exception, and in a program you guys can have a lot of not just one catch, but you can have many catch. Say you have a runtime error, we have a file not open error, we have a input output error, whatever error you have. So you can have your block of catch can extend say from one. If say for example you guys can open the file, you guys gonna give input output error, then file not open, not found exception, then runtime exception. There are many exceptions, but if you guys, for any successful programmer, if you guys want to be very successful programmer, you guys need to master this exception handling very well. You can just make a software and expect that everyone's going to be goody. What if your software goes in environment? For example, if you are putting a name and your name's text, for example 24 spaces, this is just example, in Mr. XYZ is gonna come in and he put a 67 for example characters. So what happens that your program starts to crash. Once the program starts gonna crash, then it's gonna leak memory. It's called buffer overflow. So when the program starts doing this buffer overflow, it means all your program is going to leak memory and your program is going to crash. When the program crashes, keep in mind that it means the program is vulnerable. When the program is vulnerable, all the hackers and people with a very bad intentions, they're going to come and explode your programs and they're going to inject their codes. Say for example, there is a company called NSO, and they found that there is a vulnerability inside the Apple which could not render the GIF file, and they exploited that vulnerability and they injected their code. So that's and the same way it goes with the Android. They found some sort of weakness inside the Android and they injected their code. As a programmer, you guys always use this try and catch. Try and catch is a mechanism for you to catch all the errors and put it under the control. Say for example, it's just like if you guys have a virus outbreak and you try to contain the virus, and you guys gonna have a quarantine for the virus. Okay, it's works is exactly the same in the real world scenario. Whatever programs we as a programmers we write, one way or the other, in some points they're going to get exception, especially when the program handles with the user. Say for example with the user input or with the user output, or say for example with the say images or rendering images or something like that. But one way or the other, programs at some point is going to get some sort of error. To prevent that, we don't want that error to be shown to the user. As in with the user we mean any user. Any user means high-tech companies, developers, hackers around the world, state hackers, all these black hat hackers, on all hackers with the bad intentions. We don't want anyone to know that our programs are vulnerable. We don't want anyone to know anything that the program, say for example, gives any part of the program shows to the hackers. Say for example, we don't want the internals of our programs to be shown to the user. And we're gonna type something that we're gonna see that if it's gonna throw exception. So we're gonna put a, say for example, we're gonna put a 100. Alright, so we try to throw 100 and we're gonna see that it says that terminate called after the throwing an instance of int, and this is one kind of error that you guys should not give it to the user. Say for example, it terminate call after the throwing an instance of int. So it's that's the code light, that's the IDE that I'm using, and this program is aborted on line 3. Code dumped, and that's a command, that's the type of the error that you guys get. So if the hackers, for example, if the state hackers or anyone is looking at your programs, they're gonna come in with this one. What they're gonna do, that they're gonna inject their programs here, because there is a something involved with the core, and there is a command here. So right, so there is a types of errors and vulnerability just by one something by innocent mistake. You guys throwing some very small code, and your code is gonna get a buggy, and after that your program is gonna crash, same as that. So you guys don't want, make sure you guys don't want the user to show this code. If your program is giving this code dumped or something like that, it means your program is buggy. Then you're gonna face all sorts of the problems. All right, how to avoid this? To avoid this, we can try to use a try and catch block. So we're gonna put our here throw 100, because we are throwing 100, and we're gonna put a C out. This is our code. So we can try this one. If not, then we can come here and we can do the cage. Okay, so what was our error, or what about the int? Because we are throwing the int. This is the int here. Alright, so we are supposed to put an int here, but we are not putting int, so we are gonna put it here int x, for example. Alright, so now we have displayed some sort of message that this is our code, and want to make sure that you display this message on top. Now I'm doing exactly the same one, but with the message, and here I'm because this is I'm already declaring that this is an int, so I'm trying to catch this exception. All right, so I'm gonna put a cout, and I'm gonna put a caught an exception, and we put a value. You guys see this one in most of the programs, because every time you guys try to do something, then say you're using Java or C++, or you guys in Python, when you're trying to run and the compiler gives you guys error, that's the same type of the error you guys get. Alright, so we're gonna come here and we're gonna put a cout, and we can put a x, for example. Alright, so now we are doing exactly the same ones. We are trying here with we are throwing 100, and which is the type int. We are going to display this one. Then if with C++ going to try run this, if not, then we're going to come here and we're going to catch the error. Now we're going to build our project, and we're going to run, and look in here, this looks awesome, because this is our code, and because our code did not run and caught an exception, the error is 100, because we are catching this exception, which is the 100. Say for example, you guys using the IDE, most of the times when you guys putting say syntax error or something that is not part of the C++ or part of Java or part of PHP, whatever, when you guys trying to do something which is illegal, as soon as you guys doing that, then the C++ or Java or Python, whatever programming language you guys using, is going to give you guys error, because they're catching that error here. So it's a similar ways you try to throw 100, which was the type int, which is illegal here. Then the C++ gives us error. Then the error was that the code dumped, and that was a very serious error, because you as a programmer, you guys make sure that the integrity of your program should not be compromised. Say for example, if your programs is starts giving error, it means your program is very vulnerable and it's weak. So you to combat that one, you guys needs to come here with the try catch exception. Say for example, this is just an example. You guys can put a, say if you try to divide 0 and your program is going to crash. Say there's a lot of exceptions that your program is going to crash. If you put an array and your array is, say for example 10 spaces, and someone Mr. XYZ is going to come in from somewhere around the world and put a 55 characters, then your program is going to crash. There are a lot of ways. Say for example, you guys creating search engine, and your search engines having some sort of input, because the search engines, they have some sort of bar here that accepts all these sort of strings. So as soon as you guys going to come in and put some sort of weird strings, if you don't put this try catch thing, then your search engine is going to start misbehaving, and it's going to crash. And the hacker loves it. We don't love it as a programmer, because we're gonna hate it, because we built a program, but the hacker's gonna love it. All your hard work, whatever you've done towards your program, is gonna perish. All right, so now our programs looks very good, because now here we are catching our exception, and this is very good, because whoever is gonna come here, it looks here, and they're gonna see the code, and here they caught an exception, and the error is 100, because we are catching the exception. We are catching this one. It's a type int. You guys can put a type double here. You guys can put anything. Say you guys can put a, say, float. You guys can put a string. You guys can put anything you guys like, as long as you guys gonna catch it. And keep in mind, with this catch, there's not the only one. You guys have a file input output error, file not found error, file there is tons of other exceptions that you guys need to know. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.
Do, 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 do.